Yes. What is up? It's the Heavyist podcast, weekly worship of the altar of radness. We're going to chat about some absolute bangers that have unleashed themselves into the world, Gary. Riffs of many different genres, lots of exciting business.
Of many persuasions.
Some spooky Halloween business. It's, we're talking about it all today. So if you enjoy discovering fantastic new music of a wandering variety of heavy, then give us a little sub. That'd be fantastic if you could do that.
That would be so sick.
Gary,
Sonny,
where on earth would you like to start? I would do you the honours of picking the first band.
There's just so many on the list this week. I'm thinking I want to start with Still in Love. It came out the longest ago. They're a band we've talked about on the show before. I think we talked about their EPs that they put out the last couple of years. This is their debut album. It's called Recovery Language. It came out on the 5th of September through Church Road Records. And it absolutely rips. There's some pretty good pedigree in this band. If you were around in the UK hardcore scene about 15 years ago, members of Last Witness, Brutality Will Prevail, Throats, the vocalist was in the awesome Dead Swans. I think one of them's Curtis Ward, who was once upon a time a guitarist to Bring Me the Horizon. So basically, it's just a band stacked full of dudes who know what they're doing. It's incredible, and I think actually Still in Love might be the best project that any of them have been involved in so far. Potentially, mate, if you ever needed a record that was gonna just take 15 years off your life almost instantly, then this is the record for you. They're just bringing this incredible interpretation of that kind of 2010s melodic hardcore sound that I know we were obsessed with. Basically, everybody was obsessed with at that time. I lived and breathed that sound. Defeater, Landscapes, Counterparts, More Than Life. All these bands that we were just all about in those days are just kind of present and correct when you listen to this Still in Love album.
Yeah, this thing absolutely rips, man. It's really nice to hear that sound like pulled into the new era.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, if anyone's going to do it, it's the people just completely selected with the ultimate pedigree to do so. It's fantastic, mate. This album is big. I am stoked to have it as a sound.
Mate, this makes me think of when you pull something out of your wardrobe. You've lost a bit of weight. And you look and you're like, I've not worn that for a while. You put it on and you're like, oh my God. It's like, it feels so familiar, but then it also feels like it's new at the same time because you haven't been able to wear it. And this record just floats my boat, man. Like, it's about 23 minutes long. I haven't looked it up, but I'd bet you 50 quid it was recorded by Lewis Johns at the ranch. It sounds incredible. It's got that polish on it and that sheen, but then it could also be a lost relic recovered from back in those times. Like, it's intense, it's emotional, it's heavy as fuck. They don't know their way around a breakdown. They throw in the occasional black metal bit. Like, honestly,
it's bingo, mate.
It's incredible. This record is so good. It's so like re-listenable. It just rides like a fucking stallion. It's incredible. It's just incredible record. It came out at this point like 2 months ago. I've listened to it so much between now and then. I'm just into it. The way it opens on Tell the Truth with that like, I'm diagnosed, self-medicated. It's just proper intense from word go, man.
Yeah, I love the production quality. Really does like make it stand out, because if you go back to a lot of the records from this scene that you remember, you go, oh fuck, it's a bit ropey actually. So like it's nice having that.
Haven't aged great.
It's got the 4K upgrade, and it's an absolute banger. It's like an old movie getting put on Blu-ray.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I love the track Preserve and Cherish.
These words will burn. These words are kept. It's done.
It's really cool. You've got Sam Carter from Architects on there doing probably his best vocal performance that I've heard him do in a long time.
Yeah, this thing goes, and the artwork's great. It's just like a
artwork
dog
is-
with a load of ropes on it. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so good. It just is. It's like imagine like having that idea. Like, what are you doing for the album cover? Like, actually, not too sure. But the pooch is there, and maybe he's sort of like got himself tangled up in his lead or something. And
I've got a greyhound and
and-
I've got some red wool. I know that'll work.
yeah, this could go. Yeah, this album, Gary loves this album so much that like we've been planning to do a little catch-up episode like here and there, and it's like maintained its weight in the bunch. It's still
Yeah.
it deserves to be spoken of 2 months later because it is that bloody good.
100%. Yeah, we've been through like this is like the third iteration of what was going to be a catch-up episode that we've done. We've just been so busy reviewing like big albums that stuff like this, which is maybe a tier below in terms of like notoriety. Maybe it's just something that like might fly under people's radars, but it really shouldn't because it's bloody brilliant. And if you're mid-30s or pushing 40 like me, and you remember the old days, this will just make you feel young again, man. Incredible album. The band are called Still in Love. The album's called Recovery Language.
Next, I would love to chat about the new record by Massa Nera.
Yes.
The Emptiness of All Things. It's a self-released record and it absolutely goes.
'Cause I never meant to be proud. I got it so.
This thing really took me by surprise, man. It is some really interesting, brilliant, like post-hardcore loveliness. There is things in this record that specifically remind me of a band that I used to really love, Comadre. They've got a self-titled record from 2013 and I absolutely bloody love it. It's so sort of jangly and scramsy but real sort of dancey, and it's just top tier screamo. Yeah, it's really sort of, this record it's explosive, it's angular, it's very like dancey, but there's also this like sort of chaotic presence throughout it. There's lots of sort of frenzied energy, there's a looseness to it, these sort of like cyclical sort of noise rock grooves. If I was trying to sort of paint a picture of what this band sounds like the best, I think it sounds like Comadre and Meth came together
Yeah,
to
I can
create
hear that.
this just brilliant intensity. It's like really sort of upbeat swagger, proper like dance in the pit stuff. There's a real sort of attention to like tension, especially on track 3. It sort of has this drums opening and then it gets this like this whisper, and then it sort of takes like a left turn into this industrial, thicker, sort of much heavier vibe. There's dollops of like La Dispute throughout this, which is something
Yeah.
that I haven't really appreciated for a while. I know they've been putting out bits and bobs, but that's a band that I did really used to like back in the day, but just
Yeah,
sort of
they stopped
fell out
existing
of love
after
with.
Wildlife, as far as I'm concerned. But
In
they
it.
are still going. They are still. I think they
Yeah.
put a new record out this year.
So, you know, there's this sort of like storytelling sort of brilliance in it without going full like diary core. There's like a lot of sort of textures and ambience in here. Like, so people that just love listening to things in great headphones like are going to really eat well on this. Like, it sounds really raw and genuine. And you just come away from the record going, I bet they are a phenomenal live band. Like, they sound just fantastic. Like, something hasn't really grabbed me from this scene since that State Faults record last year.
Yeah.
And this is really great. I think this is points on the board for like post-hardcore album of the year. It's just really super interesting, man. It's got loads of different flavors. It's a banger.
Yeah, dude. I think, first of all, I think they sent us this directly, which is really cool. Like, if you're out there listening to us and you're in a band and you think we should check you out, you can find our email address somewhere. Send it over. We'll endeavour to listen to it. We do get sent a lot of stuff, so sometimes it's tricky. But I'm so glad that you, like, took the time to kind of go, well, what's this all about? Because I think this album is absolutely bloody brilliant. I think the thing about this band is, you know, you can kind of pigeonhole a lot of where their influence comes from, but their sound is so unique. Like, I've not come across another band that really sound like this. Like, you can kind of listen to it and think, like, hear a bit of the sort of French hardcore scene, you know, that kind of like Birds in Rowie kind of thing. You hear sort of sludgy kind of Yashira type style elements going on. Like you were saying, there's the noise rock, there's kind of industrial parts here and there, but it's just got this really unique footprint. And then also it's got so much like powerful emotion injected into every kind of second of it, and personality. Like, it just kind of feels like they're a band who sat down and went, we want to make a Screamo band, but then they went, but hang on a second, there's a lot of rules to Screamo, we don't really like rules, and they just kind of did whatever they wanted. And I think the result that you get for this record is so good. I think when it comes to like Screamo's style, the talent and the musicianship can maybe get overlooked a little bit, because it is kind of one of those like songs are 1 minute and 12 seconds long, and they're really full on and really hectic, and you lose track of how incredibly impressive everybody is at their instruments. But this band, especially their drummer, is utterly sick, man. Like, it's so impressive. And I think the way that it all comes together on this album is phenomenal. And I really, really want to shout out the track Lavender. Like, I thought, like, Tony from Crippling Alcoholism pops up. I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to get like a full-blown ballad, aren't we? And no, there's like, it's got like elements of Imperial Triumphant about it, hasn't it? Like, there's elements of that kind of chaotic black metal, like lounge vibes all kind of mixed together. Like, I've honestly never heard anything like it. It's so cool.
Yeah, this is an absolute banger, and I think this is going properly under the radar for a lot of people. I can't recommend checking this out.
Not
enough.
on streaming. You've got to hit up their Bandcamp if you want to listen to it. But I really strongly recommend that it is very worthwhile to do so. This album is absolutely sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. The Emptiness of All Things by Massa Nera. Get out there and bloody listen to it. Next, I want to talk about an old favourite of the podcast, the band called Blindfolded and Led to the Woods. They're New Zealand's finest. Their second finest after Ulcerate, I don't know. They absolutely rip. Their new record is called The Hardest Thing About Being God Is That No One Believes Me. It was released on the 10th of October through Prosthetic Records. So, first of all, if you don't know about Blindfolded and Led to the Woods, this is the first you've heard their name, you need to get to know. These guys are incredible. I think bands like this are the exact reason that you've subscribed to this channel, or if you haven't, you should, because there's like bands whose ratio of profile versus quality is criminally skewed in the wrong direction, and Blindfolded and Led to the Woods are 100% that band. Like, I think the only thing that they're probably known for is when they were on that weird, like, Live and Kicking style New Zealand kids show, that clip is actually hilarious. If you've never seen that before, I'll drop it in here.
About that, eh? Please welcome our guest band for today, Blindfolded and Led to the Woods. And welcome along to the show. Different sound to you guys, isn't it?
Yep, technical death metal.
But they're not that bad anymore. They've come on a long way. We talked about their last record, Rejecting Obliteration, on the podcast, which, if you haven't heard, is amazing. But I think the follow-up, this new record, is something else, man. Like, I think they kind of... That record, the last record, felt like it was quite succinct, and this one's much more sprawling. They're kind of just going into any which way, any direction that they possibly want to. They're trying experimenting. They're doing a lot of weird things, and it's a really expansive, really challenging record. If I were to try and attempt to simplify down and explain what this band sound like, they're kind of taking the blueprint of their fellow countrymen Ulcerate and applying like that kind of MySpace death grind sound out of bands like the Red Chord or Animosity, and then just extending, expanding, and just making everything feel really grandiose. Like, that doesn't really do them justice. They kind of get thrown into a lot of deathcore playlists online, which is the easiest way to categorize them, I guess. But I think that their music would probably scare the shit out of your average garden variety deathcore fan. If you think the new Lorna Shore album is the height of progressive deathcore, then putting this in your ears is liable to make your brain explode. Yeah, these guys are incredible. They are on a tear. Their last, this is a run of 3 albums that have been absolutely bloody incredible, right?
Yeah, just like consistently putting out really brilliant, like dissonant technical death metal, like just super interesting. Like you say, like they're the stature to output ratio is completely skewed. Like this band rule.
Yeah, they should be huge. They should. I think they're out on tour in America at the moment.
They are, which is great.
Uploading tour blogs, which is really cool. And I think it's important that they get in front of people because they're so good. The opener on this record, Arrow of Golden Light, is freaking incredible. Like, the way it opens, it builds this really epic amount of suspense and drama, and there's that like kind of weird spidery lead guitar work going on, and then they just erupt into this like skronky weirdo guitar riffs, but there's always a hook. They never get too far, they never get too carried away with how weird and obtuse they are. Like they find a way of making it work and carrying it into like memorable riffy moments. Like if you were to check out some absolute banger tracks, Red and 600 Milligrams are both absolutely awesome. And the close of the album, Coalesce, is like a 7.5-minute track which has these really cool like female vocals from Icelandic singer-songwriter Hera. And there's this part towards the end where they have this sort of perturbator style synthy thump, but with big fat riffs over the top of it, which works incredibly well. This is an epic album, absolutely epic.
Hell yeah.
And also they're lovely, lovely boys. You know, shout them out. They're the sweetest dudes ever. They're an incredible band. Blindfolded and Led to the Woods. Their new album, The Hardest Thing About Being God Is That No One Believes Me. Awesome album title as well, by the way.
Yeah, absolute banger.
Really, really cool.
Next up, Gary, I would love to talk to you about Bonginator.
Oh, Bonginator. I love this band.
Mate, this has been a band we've been aware of for a couple of years. They put out a fantastic EP called The Doink City Massacre, and it was something that just came out of nowhere for us, and we just fell in love with it. They've been asking
some really important questions, right? Like, what would happen if instead of the Terminator coming back for John Connor, he came back for your stash?
They've been putting out really cool stuff. Their like tagline is neon two-stepping death. And it works so well. Even better, really, a better tagline is the name of the new album, which is Retrodeath.
Yeah.
This is a band so brilliantly drenched in the 80s that it makes it so fun. There's so many samples and synths, and like they even use like the electric like 80s like drum set like for fills. It's like, that's the kind of shit that I don't know if anyone else is doing that right now, and I haven't heard anyone do that since bloody. Do you remember the band Blessed by a Broken Heart?
Yeah,
which are kind of like if this band existed in the MySpace metalcore days, that was a band sort of carrying this very similar frame, sort of like side-scrolling beat 'em up gains with just headbangs, like thrash stuff, breakdowns, stompy ignorance. Yeah, just 80s drum tomfoolery, mate. You know the assignment from the intro. It comes in with that awesome like scene setting, and then the vocals kick in. He's got a really cool, brilliant, throaty sort of a corpse grinder attack on the vocals. There's a slight sort of like Kiss reverb on it, keeping with like the 80s theme. This album is just so much fun. Like the first single from it was All Cops Are BMX, which is basically a RoboCop song.
Yeah.
And then
my name is RoboCop. I'm not here to. He's not here to fuck around.
had some brilliant lyrics in it. I was killed, dead as shit. Now I'm not. Weaponized, made of steel, on your cock. Like fantastic. There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles track, Pizza Time.
Pizza Time.
Bro, there's a mosh call where they just shout Cowabunga, which is one of the coolest things that you'll hear all year. This
Mate,
band is
track
just
is so
having
good.
so much fun. You know, like the sort of like 80s synthy carpentry business quite often bleeds into death metal that we love. Like, you know, you don't have to look too far to find a little interlude with sort of beds like that, or things, you know, going on, like loving that era. But these guys are just completely 2 foot in that world. Like this, they really, really go for it, and it just works so much fun. Like it's just a party death metal record, man. Like it's the most fun you can have with a death metal record this year, I think. The artwork on this one is really stepped up as well. Like they've always been quite cool and sort of like tongue in cheek, but like not necessarily of like the highest standard. But like this cover is absolutely brilliant, and like you can kind of understand whether or not you're going to enjoy the record by literally just looking at the cover. Like the little things that are in there. There's loads of cool references. You got the fog. You got like the ones I've already said. You've got there's a song about the things, which is called "Who Let the Things Out," which is absolutely fantastic. You know, I feel like there's a gap in the market for like brilliantly fun mosh records since Every Time I Die disappeared, right? And there's a lot of people that would, I think, get that same energy, that Decaying with the Boys, like that you get with this band. I know it's a different genre, but it's party riffs, dude.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing about this band is they're essentially teenagers, and I think they started the band as a complete joke, and then they've gone, oh, hang on a second, we're actually quite good, aren't we?
Hang on. This absolutely rips.
Yeah, it feels like they've kind of realised that on this album. They've kind of gone, hang on a second, we're actually quite good, aren't we? And they're armed with a load of like 80s action movies and a big fat bag of OG Kush, and they just put together an incredible record that, like you say, is just a real good time. There's so many great tracks on it, but I want to shout out Short Ass Bus. Like that tune is so cool. It's like an ode to essentially just touring in a shitty little tour bus, being stoned as fuck all the time and just mucking about. And it's got the incredible feature from Abel from Big Ass Truck. Big Ass Truck! When he comes in, get your big fucking hairy fat nuts on the dance. It's so cool.
Oh shit! You know what fucking time it is! Big ass truck in this bitch! Get your fat fucking hairy nuts on the dance floor and move this shit! This is a short bus!
And the fact the track is called Short Ass Bus and it features Big Ass Truck, like, and it all kind of comes together. A short bus is like a piss taking term for like kids who have like learning difficulties at school in America and stuff. So the whole thing is like incredibly clever. It's like the cleverest thing about something so stupid. I also love the track Lunk Alarm, where it's like a sort of a whole just diss track for the kind of like gym influencers that you see everywhere, and this kind of like hustle culture type thing where it's like, I get up at 3 a.m, do 3,000 push-ups, dip my face in an ice bath 5 times, and I go to bed at 5 p.m. because, you know, I'm a complete dickhead. You know, those whole like that whole thing, like, get ready with me, look at my stupid routine. Like the fact that they've actually got Tim Capello to do a saxophone solo on the record as well is awesome. It's so cool. I think this record is proper cool. It's really fun, a right laugh, but also bloody good at the same time. Like, I don't think it's fair that you can be this good and also this hilarious too.
Yeah, the cross section, like the comedy metal, like, but it's not like comedy metal. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's super funny. It's buckets of fun. It's really hard. It will make you cry laughter. It'll make you mosh your nuts out, and it's just like got brilliant samples and brilliant bits, like, and little Easter eggs of lyrics and references all over the shop, and it's just such a bloody good time, man.
Yeah, really, really strong. Retrodeath by Bonginator, incredible album. Something quite different for me next is Vianova. They're a 5-piece tech metal band from Berlin in Germany. Their new album's called Hit It, and it was released on the 5th of September through A Rising Empire. This is a band that if you're anywhere near a social media account, you might have come across, because I think they've been around for quite a while, but they've managed to create a really big buzz through like TikTok and, you know, the kind of reaction channels you see on YouTube. 9 times out of 10, the stuff that comes through that kind of channels of music is sort of your Sleep Tokens and those kind of things that we wouldn't really touch with a barge pole. But I think this band are absolutely incredible. Like, you know me, I like a bit of gent. I'm not scared of gent. And, you know, there's still bands out there doing gent and doing things exciting. Phil Giata, we talked about this year. Periphery, one of my favourite bands ever. They're still killing it. Every album they put out is incredible. And I feel like Vianova are one of those bands who are really making this style of music interesting again and doing something to make themselves stand out. Like, they bring really diverse influences to what they've got going on. They've got that sort of core techie metalcore, like, we play those really long Squire guitars, and, you know, we're kind of influenced by that loath sound that a lot of people have brought in. But then they managed to mix in so much like R&B and soul and like pop influences, but not in a way that makes you go, ugh. Like, I don't feel like you ever kind of cringe at how sort of sugary and kind of soppy it is. Like, it's always got a hard, interesting edge, and every hook that happens on the record is really catchy. Every moment is fun. Like, they're not one of those bands who just got way too much into Deftones. Like, they do their own thing and they kind of play by their own rules, and I think they're absolutely sick. They have these like weird influences that they bring into tracks that you wouldn't hear anywhere else. Like, Whatever All Right is essentially what would happen if Justin Timberlake and Timbaland got together and wrote a gent song. And it absolutely works. Like, there's a track called Wheel of Fortune, which is really funky. The opening track, Massa has a really, really cool chorus, but then also loads of massive monster riffs. One of the biggest standout moments on the record for me is the track Ooh Ya Ya. It's the only track that doesn't have like a melodic moment in it. It starts off with this kind of like lounge jazz, and then it switches into just savagery. There's a moment that's kind of been bouncing around the internet quite a lot in this track, where towards the end, the vocalist just goes nuts. He hits this ridiculous guttural that he holds for about what feels about 10 minutes. And then he hits this mental scream that you've just never heard anybody do before. And he does it a cappella. There's no backing on the moment where he does this crazy, like, high-pitched squeal. It's something else, man. closing track of the album, Obsolete, is this like loungy ballad, but still got riffs in it, but it's got a really big hooky moment. There's loads of like pianos. It's really triumphant, and it's got like a message about the fear of kind of being replaced by AI, specifically if you're a musician. Like the lyrics to the chorus are, "Will I be free once I'm obsolete? Because I'm just a few centuries away from being a useless bag of meat." And I think like that hits really hard in this world. And you see more and more, Spotify mucking about with like AI music, and we could potentially be looking at a time when music made by actual people might become like a thing of the past, and that is kind of scary. But at least we've still got awesome bands out there like Vianova doing it interestingly.
Hell yeah, bro.
Sick. Really cool record, that one. I really strongly recommend everybody checks it out if they haven't. Where do you want to go next, my man?
I would like to talk about a record by a band called Shedfromthebody. Oh, I say a band.
Mate.
It's a solo artist from Finland, operating in the sort of like doom gaze, doom folk sort of alt metal place. The record is called Everything Out There Has Teeth. It was just a complete stumble, actually. I was knocking about Spotify recommended artists and like going through these loads of, you just find yourself in a hole of like, artist to artist, and then you're just like, oh, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, you see, I would have completely bounced off it because I would have seen the front cover and I've been like, oh, like, I don't like horses. It's traumatic. But I'm glad that you like pushed me through and made me check this record out, because I think this record is absolutely mesmerizing, dude.
It's lovely, mate. There's sort of, recommended if you like bands like Chelsea Wolf, Holy Fawn, things like that. This thing was really, really cool, man. Like real sort of ethereal, brilliant, like it's perfect Halloween tunes. It's 27 minutes of just really immaculate spooky vibes. Like there's
mate, on her Bandcamp she literally describes herself as a provider of immaculate vibes.
What?
That's her hilarious bio on Bandcamp, and it is spot on. Dude, can I just ask you a question? Is it just me, or does she sound like Maynard James Keenan when she sings? Like, obviously you're right about the Chelsea Wolf vibe, the kind of ethereal, spectral female vocal, but she sounds so much like Maynard James Keenan when she sings. I love it. It's like, like how Linkin Park have got a female vocalist now. This is what would happen if Tool had one. Like, this is kind of what you would end up with.
Yeah. And the love for Tool is obviously so there. There's these sort of moments like Spine, where it just sort of has this really cool little interesting section that's like it's just these little fills, and the way that like it's very sort of leant back, and it's just like these little Tool interludes, and oh mate. And then the record, it can get heavy. Like there'll be some really cool, like shrieking, like Hamer. That's like a slow burn. It's really, really cool. It's the same sort of darkness that you'd find in like Change in the House of Flies or something like that. That's the kind of atmosphere that this thing conjures, and it's so great. Like sort of like Chelsea Wolf, Deftones, sort of late night Kerrang slot, like. You could see this popping up like when you're a teenager, like flicking through, like after you just watch Wait and Bleed or something. Like, there's just it's really cool, really menacing. The drums sound fantastic as well. Like the sort of the space that the kind of like the genre affords, like really like speaks to the interesting way that she feels it.
Definitely, dude.
Like this this record's great, it's like just a proper under the radar banger. It's not the sort of thing I listen to every day, but mate, this is absolutely like just some. If you've got some spooky vibes, you want to like fill the time. I mean, I know Halloween's gone now, but Halloween lives forever in my house.
Comes around
really.
every year.
Like this is great. Like, cannot recommend it enough.
Mate, absolutely. I didn't know that I needed a band or an artist who was a combination of Deftones and FKA Twigs, but clearly I bloody did, and I love that I have this record in my life. I know exactly what you're saying. Like, it's like a lo-fi spaciousness to the way that it's recorded, especially in the guitars. Like, it feels heavy without ever having to have so much like oppression and overdrive and distortion and really be really loud and really brash. And the way that it's achieved to create something so heavy is really, really cool. The track Nature's Weapons as well, you didn't mention it, but like having that moment in the record where she just kind of sheds all the ethereal and just goes straight for it and writes this kind of McCluskey style, like sarcastic banger. Some of the lyrics in it are incredible. The unique lyric, "Watch the guinea pigs eat themselves" at the end of that song is something else. And then like Salve that track is gorgeous. The delicate landscape. It's got lyrics that kind of have an air of Sabrina Carpenter about them. It's got vibes of it being about dating a man-child, like listen with interest, get better in bed, sell your TV, get ahead. Like, it's really, really cool. I think this is like she coming to a Roadburn lineup near you, man. Shedfromthebody. Yeah. This is absolutely divine, man. I think this record is beautiful. I'm really, really into it. It's like I'd have never ever come across it unless you told me to check it out, and I'm really glad that I did. It's really, even if the horse staring through the fucking bedroom window has terrified me.
It's a great cover.
Like, I thought that the front cover of the Dying Wish album was going to be the most harrowing one of the year. The woman like suffocating in a plastic bag. This is more harrowing than that. Like, I don't know what it is with these catch-ups and harrowing front covers involving horses, but it just seems to be a thing. But yeah, Everything Out There Has Teeth by Shedfromthebody is a fucking awesome album. You should check it out. Next from me, I'm throwing in a little cheeky one. It's Wiltwither. They're a 5-piece metalcore band from South Carolina. Their new album is called Pure Light, and it was released on the 31st of October through 3 Dot Records. I've added this one kind of in last minute because it only came out fairly recently. Shout out Jamie in the Discord for prompting me to check it out. This record is really, really cool. It's kind of somewhere between Loathe, but before they got hella into Deftones, like the Pale Sun, Johnny Booth, some of that early wave of like new metalcore, and a bit of 156 Silence, with then these layers of Frontiera over the top of it. This record, it absolutely rips. It's so aggro. There's so many moments where it just becomes like, they do what I like to refer to as anti-riffs, where they just kind of go, boo, woo, boo, woo. Like, they just make these fucking noises. And it's so obnoxious in those moments, but yet it's like a really intricately put together album at the same time. Like,
yeah. It's like if you took like the Viljata Thor approach and like made it aggressive as opposed to like majestic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like if Viljata were a hardcore band. Yeah, that is quite a good way to sum it up. Like, they dabble in melody, they dabble in saxophones. Like they kind of bring stuff in from all over the place. They dabble, man. I watched a couple of their music videos while I was putting stuff together for this episode, and they're a really funny looking band. Like, I don't know if you've seen pictures of them. They look like they're a group of people that you would never see standing next to each other and go, they're a band. Like you'd think they were like a drama school class or something. You don't know. I mean, the vocalist has his shirt tucked in the video, which is just very strange. But there's this thing that people always used to say about Loathe, which I think also applies to Wiltwither, which is that you could recognize them if you saw a picture of them in silhouette. Like they just have this kind of distinct uniqueness to them, and I think that they're really, really cool and really interesting. I like the kind of the framing device of the album, of it being like a kind of group therapy session. And there's these like interlude parts within the record of like the person leading the session giving like prompts, and then it just kind of it's kind of serene, and it's almost like meditation or CBT or something. And then these songs come in, like the track Obsolete, which is absolutely filth. Like that's got more riffs in it than the last thing that Josh Travis wrote, mate. Like that track is a banger. It's funny that we've had 2 albums on the list with songs called Obsolete that couldn't be further apart from each other in the way that they sound. Honestly, this Wiltwither album is absolutely wicked. It's kind of flying under the radar a little bit. Like they're signed to 3 Dot, which is the Periphery label, but bands don't. I don't know if they seem to get the push that they deserve when you get a band come through on 3 Dot. Like, unless you're Boundaries, but Boundaries kind of push themselves on their own, don't they? But I really strongly recommend, if anybody likes like obnoxious metalcore, but also like thought-provoking metalcore at the same time, you should definitely check out this Wiltwither record.
Hell yeah, dude. Next, I want to talk about Pedestal for Leviathan. Their debut album is called Enter Vampyric Manifestation, and that might be all I need to tell you. It's got a castle on it. It's got vampire in the title. You think you know what you're in for, right? But nah, this thing is absolutely sick. This is brutality.
Baffling, mate.
Brother, this is brutality and symphony holding hands, holding gnarled curly fingernails. Just, this is Cradle of Riffs, dude, and I love it. This band is really cool. I think they're doing something fantastically, like, uniquely, like, interesting here. You know, sort of ceremonial, organ-laden, nightmarish grandeur, but with a real sort of brutal moshing heart. Like, this is like Castlevania the mosh. Like, it's got like death doom elements, like symphonic death doom elements, like that collide with blunt force brutality. It's the spookiest pit you will catch this year. Like, there's, you know, and there's a real, there is like a real like mosh forward. Like, there's a proper like hardcore stomp through it. Definitely. That keeps it, you know, streets. It's not all capes and candles and ravens. Like, this thing is, I can't tell you how brilliantly interesting it is to be listening to something so brutal but so symphonically forward. Like, it's just such a wild combo, and it works brilliantly. Tracks like Warlock Blacksmith, like, I think that's the last track, the closing synth feel like the end of like Hellraiser 2, like where it's all kicking off and it's all like going down. Like, yeah, like bands like Cradle of Filth, Septic Flesh, like Heft, Dimmu Borgir, but just with this like brutal stuff going on, man. I can't get over this. I think it's a brilliant concoction, and I think for a debut like full length from them, this is really, really promising. This is people making interesting music that I fully back.
Mate, this record has really baffled me. Like, it's got like a kind of haunted house vibe to me. Like,
yeah.
It's not, you know, sometimes you could describe music as scary. This isn't scary. It's kind of spooky. It's got like, it's almost like the Scooby-Doo gang started a death metal band. Like there's just this kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. It's got this carnival kind of feel. Like the symphonic stuff, some of it is kind of like Casio keyboard samples, and it works so well. It's almost like it's done on purpose. It's almost like a B movie, the way that it sounds in that regard. And then it's got this sort of bleeding through, shoved up the arse of sanguisuga bog kind of thing going on, which I think is absolutely wicked. I was so thrown by this record when I put it on today, and I was like, what is this? Like, but it grew on me really quickly. It's very fun.
Yeah, it's really great, and it's quite short as well for an album that sounds like this. Like a lot of them sort of tend to noodle away a bit long and overstay their welcome and sort of get a bit up their own ass. And this is a lean little beast, mate. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, it's very cool, and it's got a great title, Enter Vampyric Manifestation. And what's one of the songs called, like, Lysanthropo Christ or something? I can't even pronounce it. It's proper cool. It's so melodramatic, and I think it's fantastic. Really into it, yeah. Pedestal for Leviathan. I think it's released independently as well. I think from what I gather, it was like a one-man project that has like now staffed up into a full band.
Yeah, that's what I think's happening. They're from Colorado as well, which is cool as hell.
Mountainous as hell. Love it.
This was conceived amidst the mountains.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, Pedestal for Leviathan. Mate, I think that's all of them, right? That's our list of bangers that we have been loving from the kind of more underground levels in the last couple of months. Stick around with the podcast. We are here every week reviewing new music or trying to. But this is the thing we love to do the most, right? Trying to introduce people to bands they might not know about and helping people discover potentially their new favorite bands. Yeah, if you want to drop a like, a comment, and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.